Plants speak in a very old way, using vibrations that go beyond normal senses. Edgar Cayce could hear them clearly. His body stayed still, but his mind traveled to other realms. From 1901 to 1944, this quiet man from Kentucky, called the Sleeping Prophet, gave more than 14,000 readings. These continue to puzzle both doctors and spiritual seekers today. What did he find out about the quiet green life around us? What if the plants we walk past every day hold clues to healing the parts of ourselves that feel broken? Picture Virginia Beach in the 1930s. A small wooden house sits close to the ocean. The windows are open, and the sea breeze flows in. Inside, Cayce is lying on a couch, breathing calmly as he enters a deep trance. The questions people ask him are not just about health, but also about the energy systems that shape our physical bodies. This life force, as he called it, lives in different vibrations within every living plant. Some of these plants hold special energy that can help people feel more balanced. What was he really trying to say? Back then, science hadn't yet found how plants give off electric energy. But Cayce already talked about their awareness, not as a symbol, but as something real. In one of his readings, he said plants live in a different way than humans do. They experience time and space differently. Their awareness doesn't come through thoughts like ours. Instead, it shows up as energy patterns that can connect with the energy around people. Think about this. What if your soul, the deepest part of who you are, could be tuned like a musical instrument? And what if certain plants in your home could help bring it back into harmony? For Cayce, this wasn't just an idea. He believed it was knowledge people could use every day. Now let's look at old cleansing rituals. Cayce saw these in his trance visions. Smoke rises from dried sage in the hands of native healers. In reading 1158-31, Cayce said sage has the energy of cleansing. It doesn't just clean the air, but it also clears out old emotional energy that stays behind in rooms. Long before science proved that sage kills germs, Cayce spoke about how it resets the energy in places where pain, sickness, or anger have been. What happens when you burn sage in your home? Cayce said the oils released in the smoke lift the energy for a short time. This makes it harder for heavy or negative energy to stay. It's like turning on a brighter light that pushes out darkness. But Cayce also said that how you use it matters. The person burning the sage should focus their thoughts and be clear with their purpose. Have you ever entered a room and suddenly felt tired or down for no clear reason? Cayce believed strong emotions leave energy behind in places. Sage can help clear that out. In today's world, we know that even watching something can affect particles at the smallest level. So is it really strange to think that our thoughts might change the energy in our homes? What heavy feelings or patterns might still be living in your space? During his psychic journeys into the past, Cayce described monks who cared for lavender plants. In reading 2457-3, he said they understood that lavender connects with the pineal gland, what Eastern traditions call the third eye. This small part of the brain helps produce melatonin and has long been linked to deep intuition. Cayce said lavender acts like a bridge between normal thinking and higher awareness. Its soft energy calms the busy mind and helps awaken quiet inner senses. For those who found meditation difficult, Cayce suggested keeping fresh lavender nearby or using its oil on the temples before starting. He explained that the plant helps build a path between the left brain, which reasons, and the right brain, which feels. This creates a balance that can lead to deep insight. Today, research shows that lavender can boost alpha brain waves, linked to peaceful alertness. But Cayce went further, saying it also affects the soul body, the energy form that links the physical world to higher levels of consciousness. Have you ever smelled something and been suddenly pulled back to a childhood moment or felt a shift in your mood? What would happen if you let lavender be part of your spiritual routine? Now picture ancient Egypt, where Cayce said he once lived as a priest named Ra during the building of the Great Pyramid. In the healing centers of that time, he described Vera plants placed by the doors. Known as the plant of immortality, aloe was seen as both a healer and protector, not just for the body but also for the spirit. Its thick, water-filled leaves held powerful energy, able to pull out harmful substances from both skin and subtle energy fields. In reading 12:06-13, Cayce said, "The aloe pulls in what harms human life force." He meant that aloe doesn't just help through its physical makeup, but through its energy. Because of this, he said aloe is good to place near TVs, computers, and other electronics that may give off energy that throws us out of balance. In ancient Egypt, aloe images were carved into temple walls not just for looks, but to continue the plant's protective power. Modern science now says energy fields can carry information. Could the ancients have known this through feeling, not formulas? What electronic items in your home might be giving off energy that unsettles your spirit? Following Cayce's vision through time, we see Hindu families growing tulsi, or holy basil, in their home gardens. In reading 3823-1, he called it a plant of spiritual protection. Cayce said tulsi creates a field of peaceful energy that helps people stay in touch with higher values. In Ayurveda, basil is seen as a form of the divine feminine, a symbol of care, fullness, and clarity. Cayce explained that basil's fast growth and giving nature mirror the way the universe expands and supports us. Its energy connects to the heart, while its roots keep that spiritual energy grounded. This creates what Cayce called a flow of divine love showing up in daily life. Many spiritual seekers struggle with blending the spiritual and the physical. Basil, he said, naturally helps with this. Put basil near where you cook, and it may bless your meals with spiritual energy. Place it near your doorway, and it could help you carry a higher state of mind as you move between your public and private life. Could simply growing basil in your kitchen help heal the gap between daily chores and spiritual awareness? Now imagine a quiet Japanese temple garden, as seen in Cayce's visions. In shaded spots, white peace lilies grow. Their soft white flowers rise from shiny green leaves. In reading 564-8, Cayce said the peace lily carries the energy of balance in relationships. A calm back and forth between giving and receiving that marks spiritual growth. In the ideas known today as the 5 elements, which Cayce often hinted at, the peace lily connects with the water element, which stands for deep feelings and flow. The way this plant grows well in dim light shows its ability to find wisdom in life's harder times. Cayce told one family to place a peace lily where tension had built up. He believed it could help bring healing to things that were never said but still felt. Science now shows that peace lilies clean the air by removing harmful chemicals. Cayce saw a deeper layer. He said they also help shift stuck emotions into something we can grow from. If your home feels heavy with things left unsaid or tension that hasn't been cleared, could the quiet presence of a peace lily help open the door to healing conversations? Our path through Cayce's visions next leads us to the warm hills of the Mediterranean, where rosemary grows wild and releases its strong scent on every breeze. Cayce called it the herb of remembrance. In ancient Greece, students wore rosemary crowns while studying, but Cayce's meaning went deeper than memory of facts. In reading 26-78-5, he said rosemary wakes up the soul's memory, helping it remember who it really is and why it came here. Cayce often spoke of a kind of spiritual forgetfulness. The busy world, full of noise and distractions, causes us to forget our true purpose. Rosemary, with its sharp scent, can cut through that forgetfulness and offer moments of clear awareness. Cayce explained that rosemary's oils open channels between our everyday mind and our higher self. These open paths let us access what he called soul memory, deep wisdom gathered from many lifetimes, usually hidden from our normal thinking. Today's studies show rosemary can help improve memory and focus, but Cayce believed it also helps us remember our spiritual roots. Have you ever had a sudden moment where everything made sense, even for just a second? Cayce said rosemary can help create those moments by lining up different parts of our mind. What hidden parts of yourself might rosemary help bring back to light? We end our journey with the snake plant, standing tall and strong. People have kept it in their homes for ages, and Cayce saw it as a powerful protector of sacred space. In reading 1901-7, he said the snake plant changes heavy energy into life force through its special energy makeup. Most plants give off oxygen during the day, but the snake plant does it at night. Cayce linked this to how the plant supports spiritual work while we sleep. Its pointed leaves create an energy field that keeps out low vibrations. He advised a doctor, who was feeling worn down from his work, to place a snake plant where he crossed between work and home life. It would help keep him from taking on other people's energy. This idea of energy boundaries still matters today. Many people absorb the feelings of those around them. The snake plant shows how to stay open without losing your own energy. Its tall, clear shape models how to stay centered and protected. NASA later confirmed that the snake plant is great at cleaning indoor air. Cayce, however, saw this as only part of its work. He said it also cleans emotional and spiritual energy, helping a space feel clear and balanced. Have you ever stepped into a room and felt instantly calm, or tense for no reason? Maybe a snake plant could help you keep your space steady and safe. As we look at the 7 plants Cayce spoke about, sage, lavender, aloe vera, basil, peace lily, rosemary, and snake plant, a bigger picture appears. Each one connects to a part of soul balance. Together, they form what one of his readings called a living mandala of consciousness, a sacred arrangement that supports spiritual wholeness. Sage helps with clearing out old, heavy energy. Lavender brings balance between awareness and letting go. Aloe vera shows how to protect and care without taking on too much. Basil connects the spiritual with everyday life. Peace lily brings harmony between opposites. Rosemary wakes us up to who we really are. Snake plant teaches us how to set strong boundaries. Cayce reminded us that it's not just having these plants that matters. It's the conscious connection we build with them. When we bring awareness and purpose into our relationship with plants, their ability to support us grows. This idea challenges the modern way of seeing plants as just decor. Cayce's view was closer to ancient beliefs that saw spirit in all living things. What if those so-called superstitions were actually deep truths? And what if today's scientific view, that plants are just machines, is not progress, but something we've forgotten? New research shows plants can respond to sound, remember things, and even send signals. Maybe the line between plant and animal isn't as clear as we once thought. In Cayce's world, everything has some level of awareness. The difference between living and non-living things is not black and white, it's more like different shades. When we work with plants, we're not just using objects. We're teaming up with intelligent beings that sense and interact in their own way. In one reading, Cayce said to speak to your plants, not as superstition, but as a way of recognizing the life and awareness within them. This deep respect for plant consciousness was at the heart of his spiritual view of herbs. Plants weren't just tools to use, they were allies on the soul's journey. Instead of seeing them only as decorations, Cayce described these plants as teachers and helpers on the path to becoming whole. Their healing properties, which science today continues to confirm, were seen not as random traits from evolution, but as signs of their deeper spiritual nature. If you're thinking about adding these 7 soul-balancing plants to your home, Cayce would say to treat them with care and respect, not just as tools. In one reading, he advised asking permission before cutting or using a plant, and saying thank you for its help and presence. The bond between humans and plants, he said, should be one of mutual giving. What might shift in your life if you treated your plants like living beings instead of just objects? How might the feeling in your home change if you saw these plants as spiritual guides rather than background decor? These aren't questions to answer with logic or theory, they're meant to be explored through experience, through your relationship with the plants themselves. In a world full of screens, machines, and artificial spaces, Cayce's teachings offer a way to reconnect with nature's intelligence. These 7 plants, available to most people no matter where they live, can open a doorway to a more mindful connection with the natural world. Through them, we can remember something many ancient cultures never forgot: we live inside a network of life and wisdom, where the line between species isn't a wall, but a way for energy and awareness to move and share. As you spend time with these plant allies, you take part in a long tradition, from the sacred gardens of ancient times to today's living rooms and patios. The places may look different now, but the bond remains the same, humans and plants growing side by side, each supporting the other's path toward the divine. In this connection, there is a powerful key to bringing the soul into balance, not through loud or dramatic change, but through the steady, quiet presence of green companions that have walked with us since the beginning. What parts of yourself might come back to life in the company of these ancient plant teachers? What new balance might unfold as your energy gently meets theirs? The answers are waiting in the living space you already have. There, these 7 wise plants are ready to help you grow, just as they helped guide the soul work that Edgar Cayce devoted his life to.